we don't usually see that much emotion from you, kind of like on the side. What brought that on, and just, I guess, generally speaking, what was Jaylen's night like for you?
I think the players need to see that sometimes. I do, like everybody else, care about winning, and I do have fun. And I just thought it was a moment to show, like, I think we're starting to play what I would call Celtic basketball, from a mentality standpoint, from a toughness standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, and identity, reflecting what it means to play like the Celtics. And I think this week we've shown that, and I think the crowd has helped that, and I think our players really working to execute and buying in have helped that. And so I just thought it was a moment, a cool moment. To be able to take that in, and it starts with our guys. And like you said, Jaylen has really grown as a player. What he did in the fourth quarter was just playmaking, making the right play, whether it was pass or scoring, getting to his spot. And it's been really fun to watch him grow as a player this year, and our team's mindset.
When you talk about Celtics basketball, what is that for you?
I mean, what we're starting to show, right? It's opponents bring out the best in us, they challenge us, and we don't back down. We chip away at it, and we respond, and we dictate the mindset of the game, the physicality of the game, and we're just kind of playing with that type of identity. And I really seen that, especially over the last 4 games. And we may lose it from time to time, but we have to fight to keep this mindset and the identity that we have on both ends of the floor.
You guys have generally been better this year when Jason sits than in the past. There's that stretch, obviously picks up his 3rd foul and sits the rest of the second quarter, and you push the lead out. Then the start of the 4th, another good stretch for Jaylen. In general, what are you seeing this year when he is not on the court, and then in this game, what kind of allowed you to push? Yeah,
I mean, just a second unit identity. I think we've gotten into a good place of each unit knows what their strengths are. We have certain play calls for each unit. We have well organized as far as who we're attacking, and guys are just making plays. And so just that offensive organization, but really the defense. And regardless of who we put in the game, there's a high level of defensive physicality, effort, attention to detail. Everybody from the bench, Al, Sam, Peyton. I thought Nemi's given us good minutes. The last game it was O'Shea, Delano, Lamar, and those guys. And so, it's just a high competitive nature defensively, and then a well-organized attack offensively.
To follow up on Jaylen, you talk about the growth that you've seen from him. What kind of maturity does it take to, take some of the criticism that he has, and after signing that contract, having to come in, having all of that on his shoulders, to then be able to kind of continue to incrementally just get better and focus on that versus?
He does a good job of kind of staying even keel regardless. That's just kind of who he is. And so he has a great way about him from a mindset standpoint, and he works really, really hard. So it just says a lot about, like you said, a lot about who he is. And I would say that's a reflection of the locker room in general, too. All of them are kind of like that.
Joe, you guys had 23 fast break points tonight. When you're pushing the pace a little bit, are you letting the players make that decision, or are you signaling that from the sideline?
No, it's the players. They're all good in their own way and what they're able to do, and they've kind of learned each guy's role when they're in transition. So Drew does a good job of finding guys for whether it's flips or getting to his post-ups. Jaylen does a good job attacking the rim. Derek does a good job on either his pull-up 3 or his paint attacks. Al and Sam re-space. Peyton's pace has gotten really good, and the 5s really do a good job of getting JT, hook screens in transition. So they've all kind of gotten into what their role is, and they figure it out on their own. And as long as I enjoy, what I like is we're playing fast, but we're playing poised as well. And you're going to get some turnovers with that, but tonight we had 14. I don't know how many of them were in transition, but for the most part they seem to be, turnovers that are going to happen. But we're playing fast, but we're playing with poise, which is important.
Joe, at the beginning of the year, you mentioned that one of the things you learned from your rookie year was how you have to remind people every day to play defense and some of the simple things. And so lately you keep mentioning fighting the keep mindset. Yeah. How do you feel like the team and yourself has evolved in trying to do that?
Yeah, you are what you emphasize. So, that's something that I learned. And at the end of the day, what you see is there's times where, you come into a season, this is important. And as the season goes on, you have to emphasize different things, and you kind of let go of the rope on a couple other things. And so it's really important that we maintain a level of defensive effort and offensive awareness and execution, and then we're constantly, hammering home 2 or 3 different things that we see throughout the season or that we want to develop. So it's just a matter of retention and making sure you follow through, that you stick to those 2 things.
Joe, in 24 games, you guys, or 25, you guys have had a chance to win pretty much all 25, even the ones you've lost. What's led to the consistency, avoiding the lapses, playing through it?
Mm-hmm.
Today they made a run. I think they cut it to 6. You guys, you fought them back. You didn't let it get out of control. What's led to that increased consistency?
I think just competitive nature. The guys' competitive nature. I think their growth as players, and then I think just an identity. Like we know what it looks like when we're playing really well, and we know what it looks like when we're not. And the guys do a good job of like getting back to that. I thought, like, for example, in the third quarter, we kind of lost our poise on the offensive end, and that's going to happen from time to time, especially as good of a team as Orlando. But it didn't affect our half-court defense, and we were able to snap back and kind of get back to our offensive execution. So I think that's the key, is just not living in those bad spaces for too long, knowing that you're not going to avoid them, but you just can't stay there as long, and you got to get out of them quickly. And so the guys do a good job of doing that.
I'm Rusty Smith. I write for Sports Illustrated Kids. It's Kids Day here at TD Garden. Did you play basketball when growing up? If so, what did it mean to you when you were younger?
I did play basketball growing up. I'd say the coolest part about my experience playing basketball, I remember all my coaches' names and the positive impact that they kind of had on me from 5th grade all the way to college. And it's kind of the reason why I got into coaching, is because I never had a bad experience with a coach, and you can see the impact that they make, on your kids and on people. And so they helped me make the sport fun. And I like just competing really hard. I was never that good, so make sure you write that. But I liked playing really hard, and I like just being a part of a team. So I think those things are cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Joe. Thanks.